about the future of holograms.
Yeah,
And
I actually got to play with this in person, which was cool. At
when did you get to play with this?
At Elevate, they had it at
Oh,
Elevate. I got my picture taken with what's the Canadian astronaut? Jesus,
it doesn't matter.
Chris
Keep
Hadfield.
going.
Chris
Chris
Hadfield.
Hatfield. Yes, yes,
So
yes. Oh, yeah.
yeah,
He's at
yeah,
all
yeah.
those. Hatfield's at all those.
No, but it wasn't him. It was his hologram.
Oh, fair enough.
Yeah. So, but I think he did speak it. He did at 1 year. But yeah, so they're showcasing their holographic. So the company's HoloConnects. They're showcasing their holographic projection at this is I think from CES, and which includes they have a bunch of different devices: the Holobox, the modular Holobox, and Holobox Mini. And what they can do is they can project full color, life-sized 3D holograms of people, products, logos, or any image essentially into real space using a combination of optics and AI software. And the way it works is it utilizes the optics, or the way it does it is a combination of projection screens, lenses, spatial light modulators, and computational imaging techniques to seamlessly display this CGH, is what it's calling, because it's a computer generated hologram, not a computer generated image. So they do actually appear seamlessly integrated into the live scene. It's really, really cool. The way it works is like I'm standing there, but there's no one beside me, but everyone on the outside can see him, can see the person standing beside me. So it's really, really interesting to see. So potential applications could span industries: education, advertising, hospitality, for remote product demos, virtual receptionists, live speaker projections, things like that. Which I'm interested to know if, I don't know if you've heard of this ABBA concert that's happening, but they're performing remotely, and it's happening in London. So yeah, you're showing the video of the Holobox. It's really, really interesting. So this would be cool for communication, long distance communication, different things like that. Really interesting device, to see where they're going with it for sure.
Yeah, you mentioned the ABBA concert. I knew they were doing a hologram concert, and I heard someone else was going to, but I didn't know they were going to use this technology, which is interesting.
Oh, I
I
don't know if
like
they're using this technology, but I think I'm gonna have to look into it. I just heard about it last night. So
because this is interesting, as that becomes the next concept for me. Is okay, great that we can do these holograms, but is this the next video conferencing where
probably, yeah.
where you can actually have someone there answering questions, doing a live Q&A with somebody maybe worldwide, and have 10 of these boxes and the same person's live in 10 locations, for example?
Yeah, absolutely. There's so many different applications. The only problem is that it's right now it's limited to where that device is set up. It would be great if they could. I'm sure they'll develop this technology further to have it so that you could walk around, but like in Star Trek or in all these movies that are having it, where people are walking around and the person walks around in the room as well, the hologram.
So a lot of people probably don't know this, but Margaret Atwood, the Canadian author, she co-founded a digital signature company. I think it's called Cosign. Forgive me if I got it wrong. Got to go look back. I did the interview with her co-founder a while back, and they hold most of the patents for electronic signatures that most people use now, like in their software. And I mention this because her initial reason when she went to her co-founder says, I'd really like to be able to sign books without actually having to physically be there. So this was as an author tool to be able to do book signings without, traveling the world,
Yeah.
but actually get the people there have book signings. Now, doing something like this, you could do a book tour, interview people, and literally while you see someone like Margaret Atwood sign it in the electronic machine, signs it right beside it, and this becomes a full immersive experience.
For sure. That's a great example. For sure. Yeah, you would integrate some sort of maybe that glove technology into this that tracks your movements, and signs the books using. I know there's surgical robots that can do that.
They have all this stuff. So I would suggest that, like, when I say that, they have the patents for all, like, every how hard you push, every stroke, every nuance for every, like, fraction of a millisecond when you're signing stuff. They have a whole digital signing room. So you just throw something like that on top of it, and all of a sudden you've got a really interesting situation where they're live on both sides. You don't need to necessarily use a power glove because you've got the signing equipment. But yeah, with something else, you could use an interface where I'm here, your robot comes up at your command and delivers something, or you have control over a certain amount of physical things on site.
Absolutely, yeah. There's so many applications. I think there's even more. There's applications we probably haven't even thought of. And I know that back in the day, I think years and years ago, and it cost millions of dollars. I think they did. This is not the same technology, but it's a different. They had, I think, Tupac Shakur, who's dead, perform a concert. So I don't know. I don't think this is the same technology, but yeah.
But imagine, just off the top of my head, I was watching this and saw the person put something on their tree. Imagine if the instruction to put your IKEA furniture came in this format instead of you get an Allen key in a 300-page manual that you're trying to figure out, where it actually shows you where to stick the thing in. It's like, oh, that would be great.
Yeah, that would be, yeah. It's going to be interesting. Like I do like holographic projection or holographic images are definitely the way to go for any kind of future communication. But again, getting back to, is this going to be another excuse for us to stay at home and not go out anywhere because now we can just project ourselves?
Yeah, I guess I was looking at it the other way of trying to deliver an experience that wouldn't otherwise be able to be delivered. And you're right about not going home or not going out. But if you could actually get rid of the box on this box and make it a room, as an example, so the projectors and whatnot everything's in the room rather than the green screen beside it or what have you.
Mm-hmm.
Then you got some interesting technology for people to work with.
Yeah.
We're just at the beginning stages, and this is really nothing more than an interactive kiosk at this stage, unless you actually have a live person at the other end responding to what's going on the screen. It's just a pre-recorded, like, you could do all this stuff with video. So I'm not super excited about what we're seeing, mostly from an advertising. Press the button on the screen, get a different response, ask it a question, get a different response. Even this 3D car, the BMW here, if that's a BMW, it's not impressive. It looks great, but we can do that with a flat screen these days and almost make it look the same. So I don't know how popular this particular format is going to be long term. I think it's great for events, but we need the next evolution.
Yeah, for sure. And forgive me, but I think it's over in Asia. Don't they have this big, huge billboard that's on a corner of a building that they're able to do similar types of projections, and it's been around for a while? I wonder if this is the company that developed that technology, or if they're. The thing that I like about this is how realistic it looks. The resolution is definitely pretty good on these things. Like, it
definitely pretty good.
It doesn't look like a hologram. Like, it doesn't look like it looks like a real image, which is a huge leap forward.
Absolutely. And I think I found the thing you're talking about. So we're just going to throw it in the window here.
Yeah, this thing.
That looks crazy.
It does, doesn't it?
Yeah. Gigantic 3D cat on Tokyo billboard. Cheers people up during coronavirus.
There's been awesome. Like there was one with waves. It was really cool, and it looked like it was busting out of it. Like the cat looks like it's busting out of it.
Yeah.
So I'm curious as to if it's similar technology or if it's the same company or whatever. But
Yeah, I don't know anything about it. Just was able to pull it up here.
but
When
it's
you
like
Googled it.
there's a great example of a large scale hologram, right? And we could
Yep.
probably get to that point. Um, we could probably get to the point that you're talking about where we're in a room and there's multiple people in the room and they're all there virtually and they're all holograms. So it's going to be interesting. I think there's going to be some great advancements using machine learning, using computing and GPU power to get to scale it up and get it to more of a 360-degree type of hologram without it being confined to a certain space.
Yeah, because I see this technology as being the technology that all the evil overlords use from Hydra or any other you see where they virtually get together and their images appear around like a boardroom table and they plan the destruction of the world and then they disappear. This should be the technology for all those movies moving forward.
Absolutely. Yeah. But the thing is in order, I believe in order to get it to that point in order to get it to a point where it's not combined, there's going to be some tech breakthroughs that are going to be needed across multiple fields, like um, different imaging approaches, different lighting, next gen light sources, different things like that, optical corrections and adjustments. There's a lot of advancements that are going to be needed, but it's at a point, and I'll repeat this because I already said it's at a point where it does look realistic. Like when I have that picture that I think I posted on LinkedIn of me with Chris Hadfield, it actually did look like Chris Hadfield. So it's really interesting.
What do you see the gaming applications for something like this?
Yeah, there's tons. So what I think would be cool is to you could be playing on a holographic game board, like a physical tabletop board game. Obviously, you have your augmented reality games where you're overlaying holographic gameplay elements, characters, environments. So not so much gaming, but like you could have interactive museums or exhibit games that could draw more people in, or even esports spectating. So you could have new viewing interfaces for free roaming camera controls and social viewing experiences. Even if we're talking not so much gaming, but games themselves, you could project the images from a live sporting event, which would be really cool to see. That would be really cool to see in that actual device. That was one I just thought of actually. So you could have interactive instruction, collaborative kind of design where apps that are enabling group iterations on virtual objects and different things like that. A lot of cool stuff, spatial puzzles, even kind of multi-perspective play where there's titles that are reworked around changing the viewpoints or occlusion relationships and different things like that. But I think that the best application, just because I love my TV and sporting events and things like that, I would love to have this as a TV in my house with like having the game itself, and the spatial views that you would get from that would be phenomenal.
Yeah, the high resolution stuff, sports, 4K, 8K is amazing. Throwing something like this on top of that would be great. I could see why actors, news people and everything, they all hate these 4K because you can see every blemish, every. So as soon as you start taking that to a 3D level, what does that mean for a set point of view? Like, I can't even hide my butt anymore because even if it's a front view, someone can turn me around because it's a hologram or whatever the case may be. The sets would have to be different, I would think. It's great if sports go that direction, but it's not going to go everything's not going to go that direction unless everything goes that direction.
Exactly.
You can't have these huge expensive TVs that are only for football or only for baseball or only, like, you can, but they're not going to do any business. So it has to come down to people recording, just like we're getting 4K content now. It's slow, but we're getting streaming 4K content. How long till we see something like this? Like, do you see them switching to new higher end 3D recording so you can
reason no, and I'll tell you why I don't think so is because the reason why we had 4K is because they developed the technology for it to be able to integrate into the current existing framework. And they had a compression algorithm that was able to compress it such that they could broadcast it without using much more bandwidth than 1080p. So unless they're, because obviously broadcasting this kind of data is going to be huge, unless they can develop again similar kind of things, because again the broadcasting industry is dying as far as live TV or as far as actual cable companies, not cable companies, but like NBC, ABC, those things like that.
Yep.
So it's gonna, I don't know, maybe it's gonna take a company like Amazon, they've really innovated the Thursday night football broadcast for football, which was really cool if you ever saw one of those. But again, it's gonna be
Does it work now?
Yeah.
When they first started, yeah, good luck getting a good stream. It would be cutting out all the time, be low res, but that's what happens when everybody starts
sure.
these things.
Yeah,
You
but
know who's got the best streaming service in the business?
who's that?
MLB.
Really?
Yeah, they mastered it, the baseball, and they've got, I think they're the people, well, whoever the company is that does that now is an MLB owned company. They do the streaming for the Academy Awards and everyone, because they nailed it down early.
Oh, okay, yeah. You know, the ones I like is the F1 because you can have the multi views of each car.
Oh yeah, that's phenomenal.
Yeah.
What they do, yeah, you got like 4 in-car cameras for one guy, and you have 12 or 20 or 30 people on the field. Maybe you don't have in-car cameras for everybody, maybe only top 5 or 10, but
no,
still,
they've got
that's a
in-car
lot
cameras
of
for every racer now. And
wow.
then yeah, so I saw this guy that has his own setup that has like the live track view of all the cars and where they are and all the standings, and it's phenomenal. And I think integrating this holographic technology into that is going to definitely increase viewership and increase interactivity and different things like that. Absolutely.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. If you can actually, from a hologram 3D point of view, look in the cockpit, you like really feel the sweat, you'd feel him shaking, you'd feel it would be an interesting, I say him, but there's only a couple of female race car drivers, so I apologize if anyone's offended there, and I don't know anything about the racing circuit, but yeah, the concepts are really cool. How long till we have something like this on our desks that we can use?
Oh, on our desk, a small one, I'd say 10 years. You know what? That's the typical answer. Actually, no, some of them have been 40 years. But yeah, 10 years, I would say, until we have something like this. Maybe even 5, because we do have the technology. It's already at scale. It's larger scale. All they have to do is miniaturize it.
Yeah, this has been really, really cool. I'll be interesting to see when we start getting to the level of, YouTubers or unboxers or whatever, having these things where they can put the product in something and show to the world something small, like what we have light boxes now. We can have a 3D light box with something like this.
Yeah.
Really looking forward to that. So what do you got going on, John?
Yeah. Just we've got I'm excited to do some more podcasts with you specifically on government funding. So those are going to be coming up. Watch out for those. I'm excited for that. Right now, just it's the new year, helping companies secure that CDAP funding or any kind of shred funding or different things like that. That's a primary focus for right now. Yeah.
Yeah, we've got a lot of stuff going on. Startup Drinks TO next week, January 25th, is our Startup Investor Drinks in Toronto. We do these monthly. Come on down. Just grab your tickets at Startup Drinks TO. It's open bar, open pitch. Just sign up to pitch when you get there. It's a great time. Yeah. If you're looking for funding experts, investors, ecosystem experts, founders, come on out. It's a great time. If you want to work with me, go to startupcoach.ca. There's a bunch of options there. Click for a discovery call, and we can have a quick chat about where you are in your business and how I might help you grow or get unstuck. Upcoming in February 14th, actually, Valentine's Day, we have a co-founder matchup event. We have Siavash Shakarian coming in, going to be talking about like the co-founder prenup at the beginning, and we're going to have a few games and a few experiences to get co-founders hopefully matched up with like-minded people to take their projects forward. Go to mentoringmagic.ca for that. Find out the rest at torontostarts.com, where you can find out all these podcasts. I think that's about it. I'm sure there's more. There's always more stuff.
Oh, the one thing I want to talk about, Startup Drinks is a great event. If you can't make it this month and which is January, and you can make it in February, please do. Everyone's super friendly. It's very welcoming. I know it can be intimidating going to these, but this is very not intimidating at all. Everyone's super friendly, laid back, and there's people from all gambits of the startup world, from big companies, like you've got some big four people coming that go, you've got investors, you've got people who just have an idea. And if you just have an idea and you want to pitch it out, you get 20 seconds. So highly recommend it to go. And you can get some anyways. Yeah, it'll be fun.
Yeah. There's like Will Greenblatt's going to be there. He's the best pitch coach in the city. So if you want feedback on your pitch, I think he's giving away one of his books. He's going to judge the pitches and pick a winner. You are going to be there talking about funding, but anybody who wants to know anything about funding. We have other mentors there about risk. I'll be there. And if you want to know anything about the ecosystem, get connected, just come on out. It's a great event. And it's like $25, open bar, pizza, and all this stuff. It's the best value in town.
Absolutely.
All right. I think that's it, John. We'll see you next week.
Ryan Smith for joining us this morning. Thanks, Ryan.
Yeah, thanks for joining us, Ryan. Appreciate it. Hopefully you stuck through all of that. It was an interesting conversation. We'd love your feedback. And anything else anybody wants us to talk about, just let us know, as we're doing more and more of these every day. And these will be released on the Futuretech podcast as individuals. So you'll see one episode for wearable exoskeleton, one episode for the gaming glove, one episode for holograms, coming out in a couple of weeks, because we record these a couple of weeks ahead of time. So thanks, everyone. I appreciate you being here on a Friday morning, and good luck with the rest of the week and weekend.
Thank you.